Saudi Cup, and welcome to another episode for the MMA Monday here on the Funkit Pod, the only MMA podcast in the world that is not sponsored by Manscaped. Let's jump let's jump right into what happened this past week in the world of MMA. Lots of events, so let's just start talking about it. And just finished over the weekend, we saw UFC Vegas happening again, another fight night headlined by Uriah Hall versus Sean Strickland, and that was disappointing. Boring and not boring, but I mean boring in terms of competitiveness, because Sean Strickland was just teeing off on Uriah Hall for 5 straight rounds. Uriah Hall didn't amount any offense. He threw a few overhand rights and I guess three low kicks, but that was disappointing from a Uriah Hall point of view, and a very good example why the guy that has the nickname Prime Time usually is not seen in prime time, meaning the main events. He has all the potential in the world, but never puts it together. Like, we've seen such performances quite a lot by Uriah Hall over the past, and he's been like the next big thing ever since he jumped into the scene. All the potential in the world, as I just said, but is never able to actually put it all together. And man, that sucks. And just imagine if you're Chris White and you're like, man, look at this. This guy doesn't even do anything. Oh man, and my leg snapped. What the hell? So yeah, Sean Strickland was basically like a boxing sparring match, like a hard sparring like Sean Strickland sparred hard. Like lots of 1-2s by Sean Strickland, but then also like 3-4 combinations, which was nice. Like boxing combinations, a little bit of wrestling against the cage in between. And he took Hall down twice or so, I forgot, like not that many times, but he took Hall down and worked on the ground as well. A few kicks in between, but mostly all boxing, and he was just teeing off on him, like just like jab, jab, punch, jab, jab, cross, jab, like very basic, but yeah, it was enough. And yeah, he was walking him down the whole 5 rounds. Strickland was moving forward, Hall was moving backwards, and it was just like, I mean, you could even hear like in the breaks between the rounds that Uriah Hall's coach was like losing hope and didn't know what else he can say to his fighter there, because he was like, man, you really go through it, and if he kicks you in the balls or whatnot, you have to go now. And Uriah Hall just didn't do anything. And yes, Sean Strickland kicked him in the balls, like I think 3rd or 4th round, not sure, but Uriah Hall was able to walk it off, so good on him for walking it off here. But everything else was just all Sean Strickland, and it was disappointing. What was not disappointing was the co-main event. Cheyenne, right? Boys defeated Gloria DePaula, and like at 1 minute flat, and flat she was. Like that was a nasty kick by boys Cheyenne. Yeah, crazy. Congratulations, arrived in the UFC. Well done, congratulations. Nasty kick. And then followed up with a ground and pound because the ref didn't stop it. She walked off actually, and then the ref didn't stop it. So she's like, okay, went down a few more punches, but then the ref stopped it. So okay, all good. Yeah. The rest of the card, I mean, it was not bad. It was just not exciting from a name value point of view. But like Ceril Gane versus Niklas Stolz. Unfortunately, first round TKO for Gooden. Not that I don't like Gooden, but Niklas Stolze would be like there would have been a German that does well in the UFC, which would have been nice, but didn't do well. We had Melsik Baghdasaryan versus Colin Anglin. Another TKO, so TKOs everywhere. Here TKO, there TKO. And we had Jason Witt, not in a TKO, but defeating Brian Barberena versus majority decision. 28-28, 29-27, 29-28. I mean, that was a close fight. It was like big back and forth and stuff. It was fun to watch. Firefight. Let me know how you scored it. Definitely not that easy, but then again, not surprised that the judges gave it to Jason Witt, I believe. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the one weekend in the year maybe where UFC is not actually the main show, but definitely Bellator was the main show this weekend, right? Bellator 263, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. AJ McKee versus Patricio Pitbull Freire. Patricio Pitbull. And I called it. I did not call it. I wasn't sure if AJ McKee is all that. Because, I mean, he ran through his competition. But you weren't sure, like, how good was the competition, and like, if someone has lots of hype, then the competition usually is like, okay, I'm gonna show him, and then they overreach, or they run in, and then they get caught or something like this. So I thought like maybe Patricio Pitbull has like the experience to stay away from McKee in the beginning, and like drag him into the later rounds, like championship rounds. McKee never been in there, and so on. All the things. Same thing like in the pre-show, like Josh Thompson and stuff. I forgot that lady that was on the desk. She's like, so when we look at the stats, AJ McKee was only in there for 17 minutes during the whole Grand Prix, while Pitbull spent like 35 minutes in there. So could we say that AJ McKee was more dominant? Josh Thompson turns to her, no. Karen, I don't know her name, sorry, I forgot it. No, Karen, we cannot say that. Like, really, like, dismissive. And then we see the main event, and it's like, actually, Karen was right, Josh. Karen was right. But they also said, like, we don't know about, like, his potential in the championship rounds and so on, blah, blah, experience. Yeah, AJ McKee was like, F that. Storms forward towards Pitbull, lands a high kick that rattles Pitbull, punches him, that rattles him even more, and then goes for a standing guillotine and chokes him out cold, standing. Didn't tap, like just went out cold. I read one tweet that said it was an early stoppage because he didn't tap. Everybody else on Twitter and so on was just praising AJ McKee for this crazy finish. AJ McKee, the humble winner that he is. He's like, I'm the best 145 in the world. And next up is the 155 title. And I'm going to take this 1 million that I just won and bet it against everybody in the world. UFC 1, PFL, everybody can get it. Let's unite all the belts, and I'm the best in the world. So they're very humble, which makes it so easy to root for him. And I thought Pitbull was a champ that I don't like. Now that that Pitbull always said like he's Mike Chandler's daddy because he beat Chandler in Bellator, and now that AJ McKee beats Pitbull, so is AJ McKee then Mike Chandler's granddaddy? I'm joking, but yeah. So I mean, great performance by McKee. So he's all that apparently. But yeah, I mean, people got overwhelmed there, which is so like that just can happen. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of like this attitude, that McKee attitude. But if he backs it up, I mean, congratulations, well done. Congrats, champ, superstar here in the making for Bellator, and they definitely need another superstar there because they don't have any so far. What else was interesting? We had Mats Burnell versus Emmanuel Sanchez, which was okay. Decision victory for Mats Burnell. We had Usman Nurmagomedov versus Manny Muro. TKO, round 1, strikes. So congratulations to Usman. And there was a weird decision, Islam Mamedov versus Brent Primus, the former Bellator champ. And Islam Mamedov got it via split decision, 29-28 twice, 28-29 once. And I mean, yeah, he was more on top, but he didn't do much. Like I think he was also surprised, like from his facial expressions, that he got the win. He's like, okay, I take it. Like after the fight, but I think I would have given it to Primus because Primus was on the back, but he was way more active, going for stupid submission attempts at time. But at least he went for something, while Mamedov didn't really try much. So I was a bit surprised. I mean, it's not a robbery, but a bit surprised that Mamedov would take this in a decision and not Primus, because Primus just looked more active to me. Okay, we also had one championship happening again this weekend, and here we saw also like a few good fights actually. One of them being the second fight of the Prodigy, Victoria Lee, the younger sister of champions Angela and Christian Lee, also fighting in one championship. Victoria Lee, 17 years old, second fight. First one she won easy. Second fight she won also very easy against Wang Lu Ping. Victoria Lee was like 8-9 centimeters taller, I believe. And she just went like typical Lee style. If you ever watched any of the Lee's fight, like similar style, just rush forward, grab hold of your opponent, throw him to the ground, and then jiu-jitsu the shit out of them. So same here with Victoria Lee. I have to say, for like a few seconds, she moved to like ground and pound. That doesn't look, I mean, she's 17, so that doesn't look that all powerful. So there needs to be work done. Obviously, they know it, but her jiu-jitsu, of course, ground game, great. And she then also got the submission victory in the first round. So congratulations, Victoria Lee, nicknamed the Prodigy. And yeah, well, she's showing that here. So I hope they build her up slowly. She's going to be really good. And of course, like within this family. So yeah, well done, Victoria Lee. Congratulations. Then we saw the debut of the new Filipino superstar, Jeremy Pacquiao, I think, versus Chen Rui from China. Chen Rui from China didn't do much. He was just like more like a stationary target, like just moving straight forward and getting hit in the face. And Jeremy Pacquiao, bit of a style like MVP, Michael Van Page, like a little bit like the side stanza, and then like lots of movements and like yeah, I'm so cool. But to be honest, I mean, yeah, so the first 2 rounds were clear for Pacquiao, but then maybe that like, I'm so cool, I'm so flashy, took his toll, because in the last round he couldn't put Rui away. So then Chen Rui was just moving forward. He was just like, okay, whatever, you hit me, it hurts, but whatever. Was moving forward and was actually landing punches on Pacquiao. And I'm not kidding, if that third round would have lasted like 2 minutes more, or if there was a fourth or fifth round, I think Pacquiao would have been in trouble, because the last 30 seconds of the third round, Rui was landing on him. Like, he was just throwing kind of like reckless, but he was landing. So I am not impressed by Pacquiao. Yes, he can kick my ass, of course, but for all the hype and the commentary was like, oh my God, he's so good, he's so unique. Yeah, that was just showing off, and against maybe like a more veteran or like a faster opponent, that does not fly. So I didn't like that much. But maybe it was also like the jitters in his first fight for one championship. So let's see what happens next. The Philippines definitely need like a new superstar in the making, since the last one's like fading away slowly. We then saw also like the comeback of Ritu Phogat versus Lin He Jin from China. And Ritu Phogat, of course, did what Ritu Phogat does: take her down, ground and maul her, ground and pound her. Lin He Jin was somehow hanging in there for 3 rounds, like every round the same thing. Ritu Phogat managed to take her down and then just like wrestle her and pound on her. So I thought Ritu Phogat would lose this one because it went to decision. That's an inside joke. She took this clearly, this victory. So congratulations. The main part of the card, and so Ryoto Sawada versus Gustavo Ballard. Gustavo Ballard is a rather small fella from Cuba who's just moving forward all the time and kicks his opponents in the groin until they can't fight anymore. He had 3 groin strikes in this fight. 3 groin strikes, all accidental, like not on purpose. That's what he said. But I mean, 3 groin strikes in one fight by the same person. And the same thing happened last time I saw him fighting too. So I don't think that's accidental anymore. I think that's a tactic. Besides that, however, he was clearly the better fighter. Took Sawada down all the time, kept him there. If he wasn't down, he was pressing him against the fence, like holding him, a waist lock, and then just knees to the side the whole time, to the groin, but also to the side. And again, so Gustavo Ballard clearly got this one. So congratulations. But those groin kicks, that's a thing in one championship that happens surprisingly often compared to Bellator or UFC. Groin strikes happen there all the time. I don't know, like if it's like the quality of the fighters, but 3 times in this fight from the same person, like crazy. I think 4 times for this fight cut overall, in another fight as well, but in this one fight 3 times. So what the hell? Co-main event: Aung La N Sang bounces back against Leandro Ataides after losing twice to Rainier the Ritter, both of his championships. Aung La N Sang just fought the way we knew Aung La N Sang would fight or can fight. He didn't show this against the Ritter because also like the Ritter is just so tall, so there's just way more respect, I guess, from Aung La N Sang. Leandro Ataides, very strong, but like a bit like more bulky than the Ritter. So Aung La N Sang was just moving forward like, F it, I'm angry, I'm mad. Everyone is saying like, I'm done, I'm gonna show the world I am not done. And he just moved forward and was walking Ataides down. Ataides took him down for a second. Aung La N Sang got back up and then was just unleashing punches on Leandro Ataides and was knocking him out. First round knockout. Aung La N Sang still here. Nice. Afterwards, he used his time on the mic to also shout out to Myanmar, saying, hey, what's happening in Myanmar? Pray for Myanmar. Look at how bad things are there right now. So good on him for using his time on the mic to also shine light on what's happening in Myanmar. Hashtag what's happening in Myanmar. Check it out. So well done, Aung La N Sang. I'm happy with that. Congratulations. Main event time. Muay Thai World Championship strawweight. Sam Gayang Hadao, the Muay Thai and kickboxing champion for one championship, versus Prachanchai out of PK Sanchai Muay Thai gym. They compare him actually to Sanchai. If you know Muay Thai, you know who Sanchai is. And what I said earlier, like in my prediction, I said like the only one that can beat Sam is Father Time, and it looks like Father Time is catching up with Sam Air. So Prachanchai put it on Sam Air in the first 3 rounds, no doubt about it. Prachanchai was faster, was landing more, just moving forward the whole time. But then in rounds 4 and 5, championship rounds, as always, Sam Air is like, okay, I'm the champ, let me show you. And then he was moving forward, he was catching kicks, he was sweeping. Prachanchai, Sam Air likes to work with sweeps. He was dumping him. So he came up strong against Sam Air, but it wasn't enough to make up for the first 3 rounds that he clearly lost. He got knocked down in the first round, so that makes it a 10-8 round. So he wasn't able to then compensate for that. But Sam Air, it's not like he got like super dominated. Like the last 2 rounds were definitely Sam Air rounds. And another round or so, then I think Sam A probably could have pulled it off. But the game plan for Prachanchai worked out in this case. So congratulations to the new champ, Prachanchai. I don't think Sam A is done yet, but now it depends how motivated is he. Does he want to come back? Is he motivated enough to put in the work again, to be a challenger one more time? Or is he like, it was a great run, but now I'm done? Yeah, so congratulations to the new champ. Should be exciting matches on the horizon for Prachanchai PK Sanchai Gym out of Thailand, bringing the belt back to Thailand. Congratulations. All right, that's enough with the review. Now let's look at what happens this coming weekend. Pay-per-view time. UFC 265, Derrick Lewis versus Ceril Gane. That's also the main event, of course. And I just cannot pick against Derrick Lewis because I'm a Derrick Lewis fan, because my balls was hot. I think Gane is a terrible matchup for Derrick Lewis. So if I would pick with my brain, I would go for Gane, because I just think Gane does what Gane does, which is standing on the outside, picking him apart, not doing anything stupid, not taking any unnecessary risks, waiting for Lewis to come and throw, and then just teeing off on him, moving, stick and move, basically. That's what I think Gane is going to try, and Lewis is going to wait to land like his one shot, but maybe that's not going to happen because Gane is just too fast and too flexible. My heart says Black Beast, of course. And so I'm hoping Derrick Lewis. I'm not surprised if Gane takes this, because Gane is like just really smart, good fighter. But of course, hoping for Derrick Lewis and another remarkable press conference afterwards, or interview afterwards with Joe. Co-main event, because Amanda Nunes is out with COVID. Hope she gets well sooner. Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz. That should be fun. Of course, again, hard to bet against Jose Aldo. One last run, Jose. Come on, let's do it. One last run. All for Jose Aldo. Very interesting fight, in my opinion, is also Michael Chiesa versus Vicente Luque. This is like who's next in line for a potential title shot, or for a title challenge, maybe, for number one contender shot. This could be interesting. I think Michael Chiesa looked just so good. I mean, Vicente Luque also looked really good, except in his fight with Wonderboy. I go with Michael Chiesa because I think his IQ is also very high, like his fight IQ, like he can adapt to basically every situation. And once he gets you down, then I think it's hard to get back up. And so I think, Michael Chiesa takes this one. Should be an interesting fight, though, because 2 different fighting styles should be rather interesting. There are no other events. One is off, Bellator is off, PFL is still off for a week, BKFC is also still off. That's it with the preview. But there's one more thing that I want to talk about, because the World MMA Awards, the nominees have been announced, and they have 27 different categories on there. I'm going to make it rather fast with just the categories that I think are interesting. So Charles Mask Lewis, Male Fighter of the Year. Nominees are Kamaru Usman, Brandon Moreno, Yaroslav Amosov, Charles Oliveira, and Jan Blachowicz. I think, I'm sorry for not being a fan of Yaroslav Amosov just yet. He's in many categories, so apparently we should check him out. Charles Oliveira, yeah, cool story. Jan Blachowicz beating Isi Adesanya, cool story. But Kamaru Usman has been the most dominant, and Brandon Moreno with the insane comeback. So I think Kamaru Usman has to take this one. Female Fighter of the Year, Mackenzie Dern, yeah. Kyla Harrison, Valentina Shevchenko, Rose Namajunas, and Manon Fiorot. Well, Kyla Harrison is the most dominant probably, but she's not in the UFC, so that's a big problem here for getting the credit. So I think when we look at who's in the UFC, because they're fighting the higher quality opponents, it needs to be Valentina Shevchenko. Rose just came back, which is cool, but just came back. So I think it should be Valentina Shevchenko. She's the only champ in there, besides Rose, of course, but has fought more. Okay. Breakthrough Fighter of the Year, Khamzat Chimaev. Who? Jiri Prohaska, Brent Moreno, Yaroslav Amosov, Kevin Holland. Needs to be Brent Moreno, right? I mean, from not knowing much about him to like having this crazy fight and then now being a champion. Brent Moreno all day long. Vamos! International Fighter of the Year, because we're not racist in MMA. Vadim Nemkov, Israel Adesanya, Yaroslav Amosov, Robert Whittaker, Jan Blachowicz. Needs to be a champ. Amosov, Adesanya, Nemkov. So I think it's still going to be Izzy, I guess. Fight of the Year, Paul Semtex Daly versus Sabah Homasi, Edson Barbosa versus Shane Burgos, Davison Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno, or Jirgi Prohaska versus Dominic Reyes, or Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Miguel Baeza. Well, most memorable, probably Davison Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno won, I guess, right? Yeah, was a draw. Let's do this one. KO of the Year, Joaquin Buckley versus Imba Kasanganay. Yes, let's just move on. Other nominees, Kamaru Usman, Jorge Masvidal, Sandhagen, Edgar, also very good. Burgos, Barbosa, did this delayed punch. Kaido versus Askam at KSW 55. But I think just from the video character style, Buckley, Kasanganay, one more time, and then we get rid of this forever because everyone's been talking about it anyways. Submission of the Year, AJ McKee versus Darren Caldwell. Hurt. Paul Craig, Jamal Hill. Oh God, yes, okay. Oh, that was brutal. Jimmy Flick versus Cody Durden. Anthony Hernandez, Rodolfo Vieira. That was cool that he submitted Vieira, but it was a guillotine. Khabib versus Justin Gaethje triangle. I think I would go for Paul Craig versus Jamal Hill because that was so nasty. Comeback of the Year, Paul Daly versus Sabah Homasi. Tan Lee versus Martin Nguyen. Hey, from one, nice. Sean Strickland, career. Rose Namajunas, career comeback. Hard to say. Charles Oliveira versus Michael Chandler. He was out and then he became champion. Yeah, I'm probably going for Oliveira there just because it's the story, the champion story, and the champ should win something. Upset of the Year, Adriano Moraes versus Demetrius Johnson. Yes, let's move on. Other nominees, Shayna Dobson versus Maria Agapova, Clay Collard versus Anthony Pettis. Okay, that also Anthony Pettis. Okre Yoon versus Eddie Alvarez. Maybe that's even more surprising, right? Okre Yoon versus Eddie Alvarez. That was like also crazy. Or Anthony Hernandez versus Rodolfo Vieira. Yeah, but not as crazy, I think. And Sean Tompkins. Sean Tompkins, Coach of the Year. Who's the best coach? Aaron Nixick, Henry Hooft, Mike Brown, Trevor Whitman, Jason Perillo. I don't know. I mean, they all have winners, so I always go for Trevor Whitman just because I like his weird style the most. Trainer of the Year, nah. Team of the Year, Gym of the Year, ATT, CKB, Elevation, RVCA, Sanford. I know that's just like pick whatever, right? I mean, Sanford seems to have lots of good people there right now. CKP always. Referee of the Year, what the hell? Ring Card Girl of the Year, that's my favorite. I don't know any one of them, but Ariana Celeste, Luciana Andrade, Brooklyn Wren, Brittany Palmer, Casey Motlock, Casey. I don't know, but it's definitely my favorite category. Leading Man of the Year, the Dana White, Ed Soares, Mohamed Said, Then sang White Scott Coker. Where's Chatri Sitmon? Where's Chatri? Gonna beat Dana again, of course. Best promotion of the year: Bellator, LFA, Brave Combat Federation, UAE Warriors, UFC. No one? What's happening? Personality of the year: John Anik, Daniel Cormier, Joe Rogan, Laura Sanko, all day. Chael Sonnen, Laura Sanko. That preview show, she's roasting DC and owning him all the time. Laura Sanko for the win, of course. Analyst of the year: Robin Black, Bing, Michael Bisping, Paul Felder, Dan Hardy, John McCarthy. I would think Paul Felder or Dan Hardy. I would say Paul Felder on the air, of course, but Dan Hardy's breakdowns are really good. I think it would be cool if Dan Hardy gets it, just like in the face UFC. Dan Hardy. Best MMA programming: Morning Combat, Dana White's Contender Series, DC and Helvani, JRE MMA Show, UFC Embedded. None. JRE maybe. And Morning Combat is just too cheesy at times. Like, I just don't like it. They're also always promoting their own stuff all the time. Dana White's Contender Series, DC and Helvani was fun for a while, but it's gone now, and the new DC and RC is just terrible. I mean, JRE has been around forever, but it's at least insights, I guess. Embedded is definitely the best from a production standpoint. UFC Embedded again. Media source of the year: the Mag Life, BT Sport, ESPN, MMA Fighting, MMA Junkie. BT Sport is really good right now. BT Sport, of course. Journalist of the year: John Morgan, Shaheen Al-Shadi, Brett Okamoto, Ariel Helwani, Oscar Willis, Brett Okamoto. There you go. Fighting Spirit of the year: Khabib, because he didn't break Justin Gaethje. From armbar to triangle. Terence McKinney, recovering from overcoming drug addiction and near death to UFC call-up and winning the debut. Brandon Moreno, from being cut and becoming a champion. Dustin Poirier, his charity stuff and killing Conor McGregor twice. Or Dana White making it all happen during COVID. I don't know. That's a weird one. Dustin Poirier. There you go. All right, some weird awards in there. Let me know what you think with all those awards. Who are your favorites? What do you think is totally unnecessary? Which awards do you think are missing? There should be some awards like, do you remember VH1 when VH1 did like awards? I love your song, but it was played too damn much. Like awards like this. I like you, but your best walkout song would be a cool one, or best shoey or something, or best fight celebration stuff, like more fun stuff. That's like really boring. Anyways, that's it for this week. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you want to win. Let me know your picks for UFC 265 Black Beast. That's it. Until then, see you. Don't go. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this podcast, review this podcast on Apple Podcasts. It really helps to get found, so I appreciate that. Like, share, subscribe here on YouTube or wherever you're listening and watching this. Very much appreciated. And now I'm done. Now you can go. I'll see you again next week. Stay safe. Take care. See you soon. Saudi Cup.